Shalom, this is the brother Nahari from the GMS New Orleans Church, coming with a quick lesson. And before I begin, I want to give infinite honors and praises to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushua Ba'Hashem Kagodash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopefully elect. Shalom. And I want to title this video, Practice Makes Perfect. Practice makes perfect. Right? Seeing as Israelites, as men of the Lord, we've received the spiritual endowment, of the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of our power. We've been called back to our heritage, in the old ways, the ways of our Lord, the ways of truth, the ways of righteousness, in our captivity. We've been called back to it, and we're in a process of transition, right? So we're making ourselves ready for our next, our next estate, which is going to be our final estate, which is going to be our perfect estate, right? So in the midst of that transition, we're practicing. We're practicing what it means to be a righteous Israelite. We're practicing what it means to be a complete Israelite, right? So, with that being said, this is Judges 5:11. It reads, "They that are delivered from the noise of archers and the places of drawn water, there shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord, even the righteous acts toward the inhabitants of his villages in Israel. Then shall the people of the Lord go down to the gates." Right. They that are delivered from the noise of the archers and the places of drawn water. Okay. Which represents slavery. The places of drawn water represent slavery. And we're in captivity, we're in slavery here in America, for the most part, well, across the four corners of the earth, but this is where we're going to be delivered, that main deliverance from the noise of the archers, which can go into the ICBM nuclear missiles that's going to be shot over here. But the point is that we're in this captivity, and it says, "There shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord." And rehearsal is practice. And I'm gonna look up this word practice, the Google definition. It says practice is the repetitive act of performing a task to build skill, muscle memory, and mastery. So we're rehearsing the same way over and over and over again, because the Lord doesn't change. The commandments don't change. What's required of an Israelite man, it doesn't change. It hasn't changed. So we're practicing, until we master what it means, to be an Israelite. What it means to be perfect. Until we receive the results. The results are coming soon. All we have to do is, keep enduring, and keep practicing, keep rehearsing, with repetition, with effort, so that we can build that muscle memory, and in due time, that muscle memory is just going to turn into instinct, which I'm gonna get deeper into. But That's the point, man, to keep practicing. Because we're not perfect yet. We haven't mastered righteousness yet. Okay. This is the book of Baruch 2:30. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves. Alright, I'm gonna read it in the GNT. Baruch 2:30 in a GNT. I know that you will not obey me, because you are a stubborn people. But when you are taken into exile in another land, you will come to your senses. Right. So we've came to our senses, and coming to our senses is alluding to coming back to our remembering ourselves, remembering our heritage, where we come from, our power, what we're supposed to be doing, what's our job, what's our duty, what we're obligated to do. All right, after learning who our power is and what's required of us. Okay, but we come back to our senses and we remember ourselves, and then you exercise your senses. All right, and after you exercise and exercise and exercise, eventually you reach that point of where you need to be. All right, or you reach your goal. And our goal is perfection, right? Our goal is salvation. So we're rehearsing and we're practicing the righteous acts, all right, in order to receive salvation. And what comes with salvation is perfection, when we'll no longer need to practice, all right, because it's going to be in us. All right, that's the results that we're looking for. Okay, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 31. And I'll start at verse 33. It says, "But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, said the Lord Yahweh. I will put my law in their inward parts and write it in their hearts, and will be their power, and they shall be my people." Right, so the law, the commandments, the ways of the Lord, the righteousness is going to be in us. It's going to be natural again. We won't have to practice or exercise our senses, or exercise, in righteousness. All right, Salakia. We won't have to practice righteousness. All right, it's going to be in us. We're just going to execute, because we did all the practicing and the exercising. All right, now on this side, verse 34, "And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord. For they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, said the Lord. For I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sin no more." All right, so that's what's coming. Where that righteousness is not going to be rehearsed anymore. It's just going to be already breaded into us. All right, it's already going to be perfected. It's going to be established in our minds already. Right, but We have to practice it. All right, we have to put on as the elect, as the scriptures say, in order to receive that perfection. All right. But that was pretty much the point. Lord willing, this, this quick lesson was edifying and to the point. But I want to give infinite honors and praises to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone, and peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopefully elect. Shalom.